The controversial social media influencer Andrew Tate has been arrested in Romania.
Faced human trafficking and sexual abuse charges in Romania.
You get to a certain level of fame, you either put on a dress or you go to jail, and I'm happy to make my choice, which is jail every single time. My soul is not for sale, neither are my principles.
Andrew Tate's now ex-girlfriend, Bree Stern, says when they met up in the U.S., it allegedly took a violent turn, and she's now taking legal action.
I was scared to death. I loved this person, and I thought, oh my God, my life is flashing before my eyes. I was completely terrified.
Have you raped anybody?
Absolutely not.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any women for money?
Absolutely not.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for you.
In a world obsessed with power, wealth, and control, one man claimed to have the blueprint. For $49 a month, he offered mentorship, brotherhood, and success. But behind all his woman, supercars, and his top G persona was a machine powered by young men, fueled by promises, built like a pyramid. This is the empire Andrew Tate built, and the deception that may bring it all crashing down. Before the money, before the muscle cars, before the misogyny. Andrew Tate was just a hungry kid from a broken home. Born in Washington, D.C. in 1986, raised in the UK by a single mother. His father, a chess prodigy, left behind more mind games than memories. Andrew and his brother Tristan grew up with little money, little stability, but a growing obsession to never feel powerless again. In the ring, he found control. Ruthlessness became his currency. Four-time world champion. Andrew was calculated, precise, and cold. But glory in the ring didn't pay the bills. Fame was fleeting. Attention became a drug. In 2016, Tate appeared on the reality TV show Big Brother UK. But just days after entering the house, he was removed. The reason? Footage surfaced online showing him hitting a woman with a belt. Tate claimed it was consensual. The public didn't buy it. The scandal made headlines across the UK, and the producers cut him loose.
Did I say the word listen? Did I say the word listen? You stupid bitch. I didn't say the word listen. Did I say listen? Did I say listen? Look at the camera. Did I say listen?
It could have ended there. For most, it would have. But not for Andrew. He was just getting started. The ring taught him discipline. But the internet, it offered scale. Tate didn't just appear, he engineered himself with precision. An algorithmic avatar of masculinity, money, and menace. In a world full of passivity, he projected force, and the internet rewarded it. He leaned into the chaos. The louder he got, the more the algorithm listened. The more outrageous the claim, the faster it spread. He called it truth, some called it misogyny. Either way, it worked. Tate's genius wasn't just shock value, it was positioning. He became the anti-hero for a generation of disenfranchised young men. He offered clarity in chaos, order in confusion, and more than anything, a mission. Then came the conversion play, Hustlers University, a private community, an escape hatch for the 9-to-5 prisoner. The promise? Learn the secrets of online wealth, dropshipping, crypto, and copywriting. Become rich, become feared, become free. It wasn't just e-learning, it was identity, a brotherhood, a war against mediocrity. He told them the world was against them, that no one was coming to save them, that he, Andrew Tate, was the answer, and thousands believed him. He gamified loyalty. For every new student you brought in, you got paid. The more you shared his message, the more money you made. It was a content machine disguised as mentorship, a movement built to spread itself. In just months, Hustlers University grew into a viral juggernaut. 100,000 members, tens of millions in revenue. Tate wasn't selling courses, he was selling conviction. He didn't need ads, he had an army that did the work for him. It spread like wildfire, and that was the plan. Tate didn't follow the algorithm, he bent it to his will.
Complete psyop garbage. Our school is very successful, and I don't really have to pitch it or sell it anymore because the world is almost selling it for me. There's very little alternative to what we offer. If you're serious about making money online, you sign up at university.com because it's one of the only options outside of gambling. The only other way to make money online is to take money and risk money, which is meme coins, crypto, etc. You can gamble your money, or you can gamble your time. And if you don't have very much money, you should gamble your time instead. If you're already sitting on millions and you want to gamble your money to make more money, that's fine. Everyone does it. I do it. We all have stocks and shares and bonds and crypto. That's what you're doing. But if you don't have any money, then you need to gamble your time. And for $49 a month, you can make a time investment, and then you can get money from university.com.
But when your mission is to dominate the system starts fighting back. You can't silence a storm, but they tried. As his influence exploded, so did the backlash. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. One by one, they shut him down. They called him dangerous, misogynistic, harmful to young minds. But banning him didn't erase him, it multiplied him. Every ban, every headline, every attempt to shut him down only added fuel to the fire. Each strike was proof to his followers, the Matrix is real. And Tate was the man who dared to fight it. Tate didn't fold, he evolved, rebranded Hustlers University into the real world, moved to private servers, encrypted channels. No more relying on Silicon Valley, no more censors. Now he was untouchable. But that independence came at a cost. More secrecy, more paranoia, more pressure to conform. Inside the elite tier, the war room. $8,000 got you access to what he called real power. But access came with rules, allegiances, and silence. What began as mentorship started to resemble indoctrination. The deeper followers went, the more they had to prove. Their loyalty, their belief, their submission. And submission came with sacrifices, relationships, identity, and independence. Freedom was the promise, but control was the product. And just as the empire felt invincible, the walls began to crack. Then came Romania. From digital mastermind to criminal suspect, what happened in Romania? Before the storm, there was a surge. In late 2022, Andrew Tate was everywhere, banned, but bigger than ever. Clips of him flooded the internet, shared not by corporations, but by believers. Anonymous profiles, young men who saw a role model in chaos. Hustlers University had morphed into the real world, and it was working. More than 100,000 active members. Estimated monthly revenue, over $5 million. He wasn't just teaching wealth, he was monetizing ideology, a system where power, loyalty, and content were all part of the same funnel. From his Romanian compound, Tate launched Phase 2. Build an offline brotherhood, retreats in the mountains, armored cars, and loyalty missions. It wasn't just business, it was a ritual. To followers, he was a savior, a symbol of resistance, a king in exile. And to the media, a threat, a digital contagion that was infecting millions of people. He warned his followers, he said, "They're coming for me, they always do." And they did. In December 2022, Romanian authorities made their move. Tate and his brother arrested on charges of human trafficking, rape, and organized crime. What started as online outrage had crossed into real-world law enforcement. Handcuffed and silent, the internet's loudest man reduced to a walk through flashing cameras. The empire didn't just pause, it cracked. Suddenly, the man who taught millions how to dominate the system was now trapped in it. Was it justice? Was it a takedown? Or was it exactly what he predicted, a Matrix move to silence a threat? As court dates loomed, speculation spiraled. Leaks, audio files, surveillance, ex-girlfriends speaking out, followers choosing sides.
Have you raped anybody?
Absolutely not.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any women for money?
Absolutely not.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for you.
No. We have an open criminal investigation. I am absolutely and utterly sure I'll be found innocent. I know the case better than you. I know it intimately and you don't. I have seen all the criminal files and the evidence against me and you haven't. I know the truth of what happened and you don't. And I'm telling you absolutely and utterly, I've never hurt anybody, that The case that's been put against me is completely and utterly fabricated.
She's making the point that there is
Has she accused me of a crime?
emotional or psychological manipulation.
I've asked you a question, and I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you a question.
Correct, but you're not the boss here, because I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you the questions.
Correctly, and I'm telling you.
So there's other places in that same website where you say you get girls to fall in love with you, and they do it because they love you, because they want to do what you say. Convincing women to take part in some kind of business arrangement doesn't work long term because they're emotional. You've got to get them to fall in love with you. That's coercion, that's emotional manipulation, that's abuse.
What you've found are clips from the internet, some text from the internet, and you're going to sit here and tell me that that's the reason I should...
Your website, your words.
It's not my website.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Check my website.
For the first time, the myth of Tate was unstable, not because of algorithms, not because of bans, but because of law. And this time, virality wouldn't protect him. From digital mastermind to criminal suspect, and the world watched every frame. Was this the fall of the top G, or just the next transformation? A cell couldn't hold his voice. After 92 days in Romanian detention, Andrew Tate was released. Not totally free, but monitored, surveilled, confined to house arrest. But even that became part of the brand.
Give respect, firstly, to the judges who heard us today, because they were very attentive and they listened to us and they let us free, so I have to give absolute respect to them. I have no resentment in my heart for the country of Romania or for anybody else. I just believe in the truth. There is 0% chance of me being found guilty of something I have not done. I maintain my absolute innocence, and I think most people understand this, and I look forward to...
The arrest made him a villain to some, but to others, it made him a martyr. His silence was louder than most people's noise, and when he finally spoke, it was global. He doubled down, no apologies, no softening, just more chessboard metaphors, more talk of war. The brand didn't break, it evolved. While authorities built a legal case, Tate built a stronger funnel, more secrecy, fewer leaks, higher prices. This wasn't a retreat, it was consolidation, less visibility, more control, fewer followers, more believers. And it worked. Again. Membership surged, global interest skyrocketed. Major podcasters, influencers, even some politicians defended him. He became a symbol of defiance, not just against platforms, but against governments. Inside the war room, loyalty was purified. No doubters, just believers. He released a book, The Tales of Wudan, half memoir, half scripture. To some, it read like prophecy, to others, propaganda. Meanwhile, inside his compound, a content machine kept rolling. Long-form interviews, edited short clips, war room documentaries, all controlled in-house. He no longer needed mainstream media. He was the media himself, a closed circuit of influence. But pressure was mounting. Behind closed doors, prosecutors gathered evidence, ex-girlfriends came forward, whistleblowers leaked internal chats.
In the beginning, everything was great. He was warm, loving, even talked about how much he respected women. You know, I guess over time, things slowly started to get a bit darker. It was difficult, and you know, it's something that is still difficult. When you love someone, I think as a woman, you want to stay with them, and it's kind of innate to our nature, but it definitely causes conflicting feelings. And over time, I'm slowly starting to see, I guess, reality. I was scared to death. I loved this person, and I thought, oh my God, my life is flashing before my eyes. I was completely terrified.
The charges were no longer abstract. Leaked voice notes, wire transfers, and surveillance reports began surfacing.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking loved how much you hated it. Why am I like that? Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get fucked by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather fuck? You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this fucking planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't fucking pass out. Chill the fuck out. Jesus Christ, I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
And yet, to his followers, the attacks proved only one thing. The top G was too powerful to be allowed to exist. His messaging turned increasingly spiritual. "I fear only God," he said. "I've already died and come back." He framed himself not as a businessman, but as a martyr, a chosen warrior in a spiritual war. This wasn't just a business anymore. It was a doctrine, a theology of defiance. Yet the justice system pressed forward. Authorities in multiple countries re-examined his networks. Extradition rumors gained traction. Each public statement, each live stream, was dissected not just by fans, but by lawyers. Still, he adapted, he evolved, he survived. And for his followers, every court hearing, every delay, every rumor only fed the legend. This wasn't just a comeback, it was a transformation. From influencer to insurgent, from mentor to myth. He wasn't rebuilding, he was transcending. But how far can you evolve before you disappear? The world watched and waited, but the storm didn't end. It simply changed shape. Andrew Tate remained under house arrest, yet his image stretched across screens worldwide, not through media appearances, but through mythology. In detention, he gained millions of followers, on X, on Telegram, on underground forums. His account restrictions only amplified his reach. Fan pages multiplied. Clips were subtitled in 15 languages. His words traveled farther without him. The more traditional platforms closed their gates, the more Tate's message scattered into the shadows. A digital diaspora. He didn't need to be present to stay present. His content, clipped, duplicated, translated, took on a life of its own. It was no longer just a brand. It was a decentralized ideology, a belief system dressed in wealth, confidence, and rebellion. But behind the screens, the real man waited. Facing trial, confronting the machine he claimed to expose. Was it the Matrix? Or justice? A smear campaign? Or accountability finally catching up? His team published essays, denials, counterclaims, legal arguments. His fans posted prayers. His enemies posted memes. In private, Tate hinted at retirement. In public, he promised revolution. He began talking more about legacy, about brotherhood, about faith. He built a new layer of identity, the philosopher warrior, a man who once taught money, now preaching transcendence. And while the war room continued and the real world restructured, Tate positioned himself as the mind behind the movement, no longer just its face. Whether you believed him or not, he had already changed the game. He exposed a market no one saw coming. Millions of disconnected young men, desperate for identity, purpose, power. He sold them ambition, but wrapped it in dominance. He sold them truth, but filtered through paranoia. To his followers, he was the antidote to a weak society. To his critics, he was the poison. Was he their leader or their reflection? A prophet or a salesman? A disruptor or a manipulator? His influence outlived the product, outlived the platform, maybe even the man himself. But the empire he built wasn't stable, and even his followers knew if he vanished tomorrow, the pyramid might collapse. Because without the face, without the fire, without the fear, what remains? So now, the question isn't what he did, it's what happens next. What happens when the man behind the mask fades, but the message remains? Will the world forget? Or is this just the first chapter of something darker? Because here's the truth. Most didn't get rich from the hustler mindset or the crypto tips. The freelance blueprints, they rarely worked. For the average Hustlers University member, there were no real profits, no passive income, no breakthroughs, just endlessly recycled promises. And the money that did move, it flowed through affiliate links, monthly subscriptions, and carefully engineered upsells. It wasn't education, it was a system built to enrich the top 1%, while selling the dream to the bottom 99. Was this really mentorship or manipulation? A movement or a pyramid? So in the end, is he really who we think he is?